I am Zita Seshie. I am a PhD candidate at the University of Saskatchewan in Canada. My research interest is in the area of gender and education policy in Ghana as part of creating a public awareness on girls' education in sub-Saharan Africa. I created a movement called the One Change Project. The One Change Project is simply meant to broaden the discussion of girls' education, provide learning materials for girls, especially those in the rural areas, and also to give the opportunity for girls to express themselves and share their stories as they continue to pursue a basic education in Ghana. In order to raise the resources to be able to fund this documentary, I created 3 strategies. The first was to create a GoFundMe account where I share my story as an educated African woman. The second was to design social advocacy t-shirts to promote girls' education. Finally, I engaged in the sale of cultural accessories from Ghana to raise funds for this documentary. I hope you are inspired by my story and enjoy this journey with me.
Tell me how many women childhood dreams come to pass. Tell me how many movies turn out real. There are so many questions I like to ask, so you can understand exactly how I feel. Tell me how many people wish to wear someone else.
Today we are here to share a story that will inspire you. It is the journey of 2 women, one educated, the other one passionately educated. My name is Zita, this is my mother Benis. We are here in the Volta region in a community called Keji. We have come here to explore the issue of girls' education. My story is inspired by the fact that my mother could not complete basic school some 53 years ago. So we are here to know if there is a change in girls' education in the Volta region of Ghana. Beyond my mother's experience, the Ghana's Ministry of Education stated that in 2015, only 70% of girls completed basic school compared to 77% of boys. Going beyond Ghana, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals says that sub-Saharan Africa is still struggling with girls' education. The 2013 report by the UNICEF indicates that only 2 countries in sub-Saharan Africa have gender parity in basic education. Gender parity is the gross enrollment of boys compared to that of girls.
Easy, they don't find time to love. What's the truth behind why people go to war? Why is there so much religion, yet there's so...
We are currently at the Keji AME Zion Basic School, and we are here to speak to the headmaster, Mr. Elias Bida, on his experiences as an educator and what he has seen for girls in this area. So our first question is, how many years have you been an educator in general?
9 years.
9 years. Okay. In this school?
No, in this school, I'm in the 2nd year.
Yes. In other schools?
7 years.
7 years. So what is the state of education in this area, and what do you think are some of the challenges for girls in your school?
General problem covering or facing the girls for not further education, there are many, but let me talk of few. One is the lack of a parental care. Okay. Parents, they don't know the importance of girls' education.
Okay. Specifically the mothers?
Specifically the mothers. Mm-hmm. They have been thinking that when you educate a girl, the girl is going to marry somebody, and that girl is going to be a kitchen woman for somebody. Mm-hmm. But the understanding is not good. Mm-hmm. But here lies the case. These days, when you educate a girl, the family shines. Okay. Maybe they have been thinking that the girls, they can't do anything. Their position to be in the kitchen. But that was then. Okay. Now the girls are competing with the males. Yes. But when you go to some schools, even before the result came, they normally talk of the girls having the first position, second position, the third position. That is in the cities. But the villages, our parents, since they don't have access to those things, they are not preventing their girls child to go for schooling. But as I came here, I normally do a lot of my personal best to understand or to inform to educate the parents. so that they know the importance of girls' education.
Okay.
Now, another problem is that teenage pregnancy. Now, since the mothers are not ready, they are not able to provide for the girl's need, what do they do? A girl reaching the age of 18, 17, 19, begging the boys, give me this, give me this, give me this. In other way, when the boys start to give something to the girl, tomorrow the boy will also ask in terms of the girl that they should first. So by doing so, the girl will put in mother for putting the girl will be pregnant. Yeah, family way. So teenage pregnancy, it is one of the points which is hindering the girls' education in my community. Now over here too, the pocket money. That is another factor. A girl, you see a girl 15 years, 16 years, 17 years. But you know, before they enter that age, no matter how whatever they do, they'll be pregnant. But here that's the case, in order to give them something small, you put in the pocket. When they come after break or during break, they go for break. They don't have money. The parents are not working. For that matter, they don't have money to give to their girls as the pocket money. So when it happens that way, the girls are also attaching themselves to the boys in order to feed them. Now, we also have a broken home. Broken home, I'm a man. I have to speak for myself. Now, I'm a married man. I'm looking after my children, my family. But there's a man at another end. He doesn't know that when I'm married, I have to look after my children and my wife. The most important thing is that with the men over here, we are marrying 2 or 3 wives. We don't have anything here. We are not doing anything in order to live life on. But we try to have a lot of women around us. Since I am not working, but I have a large family size. The girls will be feeding themselves because they know that when I come to my father, the father will not give me anything because the family is broken. The mother too is not working. The father too is not working. They apart themselves. Somebody is staying here. Somebody is staying here. When the girl decides to go to the mother, what is happening on the way before going to the mother? Nobody knows. When the girl decided to come back to the father, what is happening between there? Nobody knows. So we, the male, we have to understand ourselves that it is my duty to marry one girl or one woman so that the girl I'm going to bring, I have to educate them. Now, I also have commitment on the part of the girls themselves. The girls are not committed because they are not seeing a role model. They are not seeing a role model. They'll be thinking that when I compete.
What about their female teachers? Female teachers are supposed to be some sort of role model to inspire the girls.
Female teachers, yeah.
Because I saw a lot more on your campus.
Female teachers, they are part of the role model. But the only thing is that the actual role model should come from the community. When you are seeing somebody in the village is that apart from the teachers, when I finish my school, when I learn how I become this man, I become this woman, there will be a tendency for the girls to learn. But here is the case, apart from the teacher, the role model, majority are not in the villages. They're outside the villages. And then they are even afraid to come back. But when the role models are decided to come back, people like girl child education, we have a lot of men who are now in managerial position. When they start to come down, so those in the school, they'll be copying them, they'll be looking at them. Hey, if I study hard, I become this woman. If I study hard, I become like this woman. But that's nothing for them. The teachers, maybe a teacher is here for 1 year, 2 years. The teacher leave the school and go to another place. And that the most important thing, some of the staff, the male teacher dominate the staff. So where the male teacher dominate the staff, the girl cannot learn from the male teachers as a role model. So the role model,
so I like that point too. You're calling for a more of female teachers to be posted to the area. You think that in a way will boost girls'
seriously, because the few teachers, the few female teachers are also here. They're also doing their best, but more should be posted to the schools so that the girls will see them as a role model. Now, before I stop my talking, if you have the motivation, lack of motivation on the part of the parents. Most of the parents are thinking that when you talk of motivation, it's just a matter of giving the girl a lot of things before the girl start to learn. No, it's just a matter of sitting down with your girl child. My sister, I want you to be a medical doctor for me. When you learn hard, I'll do this for you. When you learn hard, I'll do this for you. That is a verbal motivation. You see, the parents, they don't understand that. They think that when you talk of the motivation, it's just a matter of giving them a lot of things before they know. No. That is not it. So there's tendency for the parents to be motivating. To be giving the verbal motivation, the positive one, of course.
In moving forward, what can we do to improve the state of girls' education in the Kaji area? What can we do as a community here? What can we do nationally? And what should the global community know to improve the state of education? Because it is a global parameter that the world achieves universal basic education, which of course includes girls.
I believe that there should be empowerment for the mothers.
Okay.
You know, the girls, they normally stay with their mothers.
Okay.
But when the mother is not doing anything, it means the danger, the life of that girl is in danger.
Okay.
So when we are able to empower the mothers, we give them at least something small to be trading on.
Okay.
So the mother knows that since I'm giving something, when I'm trading upon that, I can get something to feed my girls.
So economic
empowerment, economic empowerment should be given to the mothers.
Okay.
Now, the school is being established by the government, but they belong to the community.
Okay.
Before the learning goes on, there should be adequate textbooks.
Okay.
The government has provided a little one, which is not up to the number of the people in the school.
Okay.
You know, every school we have girls, we also have boys.
Okay.
So we are thinking that the government should provide the large number of textbooks, which should be given to the girls, or which should be given to everybody in the school.
So to conclude this discussion, in terms of enrollment, what are the numbers here in terms of enrollment, boys and girls? What are the numbers?
Yeah, for total enrollment, we have 661.
Okay.
Boys, we have 361, and I guess exactly 300.
300.
Yes.
So boys outnumber girls by 60.
Yes, by 16, by 61,
16.
61.
Oh, okay.
61.
So in terms of performance, will you conclude for us in terms of performance? How do you think girls perform compared to boys in your school?
Thank you. Performance of the girls over here is not good at all. The boys, I say the most of the times when we do an exam and then we normally rank them from number 1 to 10 are boys. 11, 13, 14 before the girls start to troop in. So we are thinking that something should be done to the girls' education so that the girls also come up in order to catch up with the boys.
So we want to officially say thank you for your voluntary participation in this documentary, and we are looking forward to working with you in the future. As part of our discussion, we are here to just quickly interview the most intelligent students from Junior High School 1, Junior High School 2, and Junior High School 3. So I have here with me the best female students for Junior High School 1, and the name is... Sorry? Okay, and Junior High School 2? And the final one? Okay, thank you all for being part of this important discussion, and I hope that at the end we can all improve things for girls in your area. So what are your views on education for girls? What are your views on coming to school?
Well, my view for coming to school is to be a better person in the future and acquire more skills to come and help my community. So if like any poverty, I can bring them out of that poverty.
Anyone else? Okay, do you think that your female teachers on this campus have a positive impact on your schooling here, your female teachers? Do you look up to any as a positive role model?
Yeah, because they want us to be like them, even more than them, to be a better person in the future so that what we achieve, if we have something, we see them in any situation, we can bring them out of that situation.
So what do you want to be in the future when you grow up?
I want to be a dentist in the future.
Why do you want to be a dentist?
Because I have the passion and the feeling to be a dentist.
Okay, and you think it is possible for you to do that?
Yeah, it's possible for me to do.
Okay, and what about you? You want to be a nurse? Why? You want to help your family? That's your motivation to become a nurse? And you also said, well, you want to be a nurse. Why?
Because I want to help my parents.
You want to help your parents? So if there's anything that you want us to know, to improve education here, your school here, what would that be? If you want us to improve things here for you, what would that be?
Well, we want you to improve. Our classrooms are not even enough for us to study in. It gives the teachers pressure to teach us, and the teachers who don't have any staff common to have a peace of mind and a place to rest. So we want you to provide a school classroom for us, and a canteen, the staff common room, a computer laboratory, and a library too. And we need about 4 or 5 poly tanks in the school for each class, so that can help us to
Sanitation and water.
yeah.
Okay.
We don't have the computer to prove our knowledge.
Okay. So you think that the provision of computers in your school will improve your learning and your knowledge? Okay. What about you?
We don't have a computer lab.
You don't have a computer lab. Are there any? Do you know of any efforts being made to provide a computer lab for the school? Have you heard anything to improve to provide such facilities?
Well, it's what we heard is our ICT skills will not go forward because we don't have any computer in the school, we don't have any computer laboratory in the school, so it makes it difficult for us to learn our ICT skills.
Okay. So on behalf of the girls here in the Keji AME basic school, there are a lot of problems facing girls' education. It is not just about parental poverty and the lack of infrastructure, but also kids do not have the resources they need to do well. And so we continue to share more insights from Ghana, and we hope that the global community can come on board and improve education for all children.
Tell me how many women childhood dreams come to pass. Tell me how many movies turn out real. There are so many questions I like to ask, so you can understand exactly.
In order to offer a more in-depth analysis of the state of girls' education in Ghana, we are here at the Community Aids #1 Basic School to explore if there's a difference between girls' education in Keji, the Volta region where we were, and this current location, which is Tema.
Many babies will be born just to die, leaving me with this question.
So we are here at the Community Aids #1 Basic School in Tema. Tema has an interesting socio-economic demographics. The city holds the largest port in Ghana, and it was commissioned by Ghana's first president, Dr. COMMFFEST, in 1961. Residents in this area are mainly middle class and upper class, and therefore we are here to assess the state of public schools in Ghana and also to explore the issue of girls' education. Here with me is a teacher and a girls' education facilitator, Ms. Joanna Mensah. Thank you for coming, and we are grateful for your participation in this interesting discussion.
Thank you, and have a good morning.
Okay, good morning. How many years have you worked as a teacher?
17 years.
And how many years as a girl-child facilitator?
11 years.
11 years. In your assessment, what is the state of girls' education in Ghana?
Considering the free compulsory universal basic education, which was introduced in 1995, as part of its access, they made this policy called the Girl Child Education.
In what year?
In 1995.
Okay.
Basically to just clear off or put away the social and the cultural barriers in girls' education. You know, usually girls were relegated to the background, and girls' responsibilities were basically for cooking and childbearing. But this time around, we realized that even with childbearing, the woman needs to know a bit of science. Breastfeeding, doing this, taking care of the nutrition that you even give to the child. So there was the need for all girls to be educated, and also for girls to be put upright in all affairs of the economy.
So from 1995, that the policy was promulgated to being implemented in 1997. From there to 2015, what do you think have been the major improvements for girls in Ghana?
Generally, you realize that being a great improvement, considering the number of enrollments, especially in my school.
Okay.
you realize in this school the girls are rather becoming, the enrollment of girls are now larger than that of boys. And you realize that the teachers too put themselves as a role model for these children to look on. So it makes the children around the community get into schooling. And because of the capitation and other grants granted by the government, there's been an improvement. Basically, there's been an increase in girls' education in Ghana now, especially in Tema.
Okay, so for our viewers, the capitation grant is simply an abolition of school fees where the government gives money to all public schools to ensure that every child in Ghana is able to complete a full course of basic education. What do you think are some of the challenges for girls today when it comes to formal education?
Looking at, Tema is such that people are coming from all walks of life, all walks of regions. So some of them have problem with this cultural background where they are coming from. They have problems with that. Some people would rather, and because of poverty, I see it to be poverty inclined, because parents would rather want to send their girls to people to work for money and serve as maid servants, and others would also want to give them out for marriage. So these two things are basically becoming a problem. And some of the parents who, instead of buying the basic necessities for these children like shoes, books, dresses and other things, they don't have the means. Though the capitation grant is in to do that, it is even not enough. And parents are also not ready to support in that line.
So looking at all the things the government has done, and we talk about the capitation grant, school feeding, that's free feeding for every child. We also have the free textbook and also a free uniform initiative. In spite of all these, what is the way forward? What can we do to make it possible for every girl in Ghana to complete a full course of basic education?
Well, thank you. We need to actually educate the parents so well. Because most of the problem is coming from the parents. You realize that the parents are, because of poverty, one, and because of the fact that they don't even understand why their children should go to school. We have that problem of allowing these girls to come to school. Women are being put at the limelight these days. The government is doing everything possible to involve women in parliament to serve as role model. Yet parents are not allowing their girls to be educated, not come to school, but rather get themselves married, use them as means of getting money for taking care of their younger ones. So they go serve as maid servants. And also they do not have the means to buy shoes and other things for these girls. So I think that if parents are ready and understand the fact that if you are educated, if you educate a woman, you educate an entire nation. If they come to realize that fact and decide to educate these girls, we are going to go forward.
So we would like to know the challenges you face coordinating a girls' club in your school.
Some of my challenges are the fact that we need funding to purchase some of these basic amenities that these girls need. They need sanitary pads and panties and all that. It's a challenge, it's a problem. Sometimes I need to buy them all that, which I do.
From your own personal coffers?
Yes, from my own personal coffers. And sometimes they pick around rubber sachets. They sell it out and they use it in buying gentian violet and the rest for themselves. And then there's a problem with the infrastructure around the school. It's not very conducive, especially for these girls. We don't have a better toilet facility. The walls are broken. They can go in and out at any time, break time. Instead of living and eating in the school, these girls would have to run out. And you cannot be following these girls in and out as they go, one by one after the other. So it becomes a problem. And also with parenting, their parents, how they take care of their children, their concern, how they should educate these children, all become my responsibility. Sometimes it becomes a problem. These children cannot confide in their parents. They have to come to school early in the morning with a lot of problems. I get to school by 6 and you see these children around me trying to tell me their problems one after the other. The problems seem not to be their fault. It is the fault of either the environment, the fault of their parents, the fault of the culture or wherever they are coming from. And with time, I think I'm dealing with it.
Well, as we've heard from Ms. Mensah, the issue of girls' education in the 21st century is multifaceted. Mainly, we talk about the lack of resources and school infrastructure. The walls in the school are down. Teachers cannot monitor when girls go out or come in. We have, we need an urgent expansion in toilet facilities. Girls also need other support in the area of sanitary towels, and also an increment in parental involvement in their children's welfare. We want to say thank you to Ms. Mensah for availing herself to do this interview, and also to educate all of us on the state of girls' education in Ghana, West Africa. To continue the discussion on the state of girls' education in Ghana, I have here with me the famous Girls Club of the Community #1 Basic School. I have here with me the president, and her name is
Gertrude Adu.
And I have here the vice president, and the first organizer,
Semensa Benedicta.
and the second organizer,
Chris Lofori.
I believe that in the pursuit of girls' education, I need to include the voices of those that are most affected, and I believe that they can give us more insight on what it is like for every girl to be in school in Ghana. So my first question to any of you is, how do you feel being a girl in school? Who wants to take it?
Okay, I am.
Sure.
Okay, so I'll say that it feels very good to be a girl and also to be in school, to be with the boys, and also to know how it feels like, how education feels like how education feels like, and also to have an insight of how it will be like one day to be an educated girl.
Okay. So do you enjoy it in school?
Yes, I do a lot.
Okay. Which of your family members inspire you to pursue education? Anyone wants to take it? Who in your family inspires you? Your father, your brothers, your mother? Who?
My father.
Okay. Why?
Because he thinks when I learn, I'll be able to acquire everything I want, and I will also help him when he grows old, and when he has retired, I'll be helping him to learn and when he's sick, I can get money to also help him and be helping the family as well.
Okay. It's very interesting to know that your father, who is a male figure, has a really positive impact on your education. According to statistics in the school, there are more female teachers than male teachers. My goal is to ask the girls, how are they inspired by the female teachers in the school? So Benedicta wants to answer that. How are you inspired by female teachers?
Our female teachers always tells us that being a girl is not only having breast and elegance, but being a girl is what comes out from you, the positive impact that you play on society. That's what makes you a girl. So if you are a girl and you think you have everything, beauty, elegance, then you are not a girl. But a girl with aspirations to help the society, especially the poor and the needy in the society. And what comes out positively from you is what it means by being a girl.
Well, that's very inspiring. And so, what career do you want to pursue? What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a pediatrician.
Okay, why?
I want to help children. I personally like children.
So how do you think that being in school is going to help you achieve that goal of being a pediatrician?
In every way.
In every way?
Yeah.
Do you think that the society and the community in Ghana makes it possible and supports career women?
Yes. Not really. Because most of our grandparents, they say that if you're a girl, your office is to be in a kitchen. So with me, my family is not like that. That's why they brought me to school. So I want to do everything possible to make them proud of me.
Oh, that's really nice. And so, what are your thoughts on early marriage for girls?
Early marriage is something that must be abolished.
Okay. Why?
Because a girl who is supposed to be in school mustn't be in the kitchen of her husband. Mm-hmm. Yes, for example, if an old man just enters your house, greets your mom and daddy, and offers
a bride price?
Yes, for you to get married to him, it's not appropriate. It's very inappropriate, because a girl, as a girl, must go to school, because girls have a lot in them. So if they are married at that early stage, they are destroying the society, because not only boys can make it through the society, girls can also make it through the society. So if a girl is married at her tender stage, I think it should be abolished.
Okay, so we just want to wrap up by knowing their challenges and also what we can do as a global community to make it conducive for girls to stay in school and complete school to pursue higher education. So what are your challenges? What would you say are your challenges in school?
With me, when you are in class and you're learning, some people might come, they'll come and distract you. So you cannot do anything because you are your friends. You cannot back them up. And sometimes too, most of the boys comes and then they'll come and touch you.
Oh.
You cannot, sometimes when you go and report them, they will be like, you are too annoying.
Okay.
So it's better. You can avoid them though, but avoiding them is something.
Okay. It has a negative impact when you avoid them. Okay. What about you? What are some of the challenges you face in school?
The noise. People make noise when you are ready to learn.
Okay.
As soon as you take your book, as if the devil is warning them, telling them to come and distract you not to learn. And when you take it, they'll come and sit down and they'll be telling you a lot of things, distracting you from learning. It's also very bad.
So you think that an improvement in your library facility where you can come here and study will help improve your learning condition?
Yes.
Okay. What about you?
I think I speak for a lot of girls in this school when I say that, especially in this school, when you come here, a lot of the main problem facing some of the girls is with their menstruation.
Okay.
Most of the girls lack pads and some petty things that they are supposed to use when they are in their menstrual periods. Sometimes, like some of the girls, they have to use maybe tissues and those things. That's it's not very encouraging. Sometimes you see a girl and then she smells and it's not very good. Sometimes so the girls, there are lots of problems with pad, with underwears and those things.
Okay. Well, good news. I brought some sanitary towels to help support the club, and so going out there, please remember that the issue of sanitary towel is still a challenge for many girls, not only in Ghana but in sub-Saharan Africa. So I just want to say thank you all so much for being part of this discussion. We will go down in history, paving the way for more girls to be able to achieve universal basic education, not only in Ghana, but in Africa at large. So thank you so much for being part of this discussion, and I'm really grateful. Thank you.
Tell me how the trees whisper, how the birds learn to sing, and how to make their honey out of their learn to sting. Can a broken heart get back to heal again? How do people get so busy they don't find time to love? What's the truth behind why people go to war? Why is there so much religion, yet there's so little love? Will I ever get to know the truth someday? Where's the youth who's gonna dare? Where's the elder who really cares? Why do people believe things that aren't true? When you look into the mirror, who do you see? Why do we have to grow to be wise?